In this video, we're going to discuss why I think intuitive eating is not the best strategy when it comes to weight loss, having a good relationship with food, and how these three hormones can really impact your hunger levels, your hunger signals, and why you should know them for effective weight loss. Hello, welcome back to the Stay Fitness channel. If you're new to this channel, my name is Daniela. I'm a fitness, nutrition and life coach specialized in obesity and diabetes management. Today's video we're going to discuss why I'm not a massive fan of intuitive eating and the top 3 hormones you need to know for effective weight loss, and how these 3 hormones can massively impact your hunger signals and your metabolism. And stay till the end because I'm going to give you 5 easy to follow tips to improve your metabolic and hormonal function. Intuitive eating has been quite popular in the last years. I feel like it's come about almost as an anti-diet movement, to say you don't need to restrict yourself, just eat whatever your body tells you. It's very it just sounds so nice, and when something sounds too good to be true, it's usually not true, because our signals, our intuition is of course influenced by our chemistry, our brain chemistry, our state of mind, our body health. So putting your health in the hands of your own intuition, I don't think is the best idea. But if you're someone who's been a health freak for a long time and all that, maybe your signals are different. But for the average person who struggles to weight loss, struggles with all this diet, saying I'm going to throw all that out the window, I'm just going to eat whatever my intuition tells me, I don't think it's the best strategy, because now we're going to discuss 3 hormones that can massively impact these signals, this intuition. So the first hormone we need to discuss is insulin. You probably heard about insulin resistance. So when we are insulin resistant, even if we keep eating carbs, they don't enter the bloodstream, which doesn't mean it doesn't reach our brain. Our brain doesn't get the signal that we actually ate carbs, so our brain is starved of energy. Of course, it can't utilize ketones because we are not in ketosis, so the only available fuel will be carbs, but we are not getting the carbs because we are insulin resistant. So yeah, the first clue is that our intuition is going to be compromised by the fact that our brain is not actually getting the signal that we had a satisfactory meal, we have satisfactory amount of carbs in our bloodstream, because it's not getting the signal. This is why we feel sluggish, we feel like we don't want to do anything. Our brain keeps asking for more food because it's not getting it. So yeah, the first hormone that's going to massively impact your hunger levels, your hunger signals, is insulin. I made a longer video explaining insulin resistance, so go and have a look and learn more about insulin resistance. The second hormone we need to talk about is leptin. Leptin is a hormone secreted by our fat cells. So the bigger our fat cells, the more leptin we produce. And leptin is the hormone that tells our brain that we are sufficiently fed, that we have sufficient fat storage in order to survive. So we can it activates our metabolism, just says, yeah, go, you can go work out, go on a hunt, we are good. But what happens in obese and overweight people is that we get resistant to the signal. So the more overweight we are, the more bigger our fat cells, the more leptin is secreted. But there's a disruption in the signal when the brain does not get this leptin signal. This disruption is linked to inflammation in the brain, and inflammation is linked, of course, to also insulin resistance. So this can be just another consequence of malfunctioning in the body, where we actually sufficiently fed, we have enough fat, but our brain is not getting the signal. So again, if we talk about intuition, our body is going to keep telling our brain is going to keep telling our body to move less and eat more, because it's actually starved of energy, and it's also thinking that we are actually starving, we don't have enough fat storage. And I made a longer video about leptin resistance, so I really recommend you go and have a look. The last hormone we need to talk about is ghrelin. So ghrelin is the hormone that tells our brain that we're hungry, so it's in our stomach. You can remember ghrelin because it's growling, like when your stomach is like when we're hungry. So when we eat, ghrelin drops and it creates this like drop, and our brain records it and says, okay, stomach full, that's it, we're fed. Research has found that in obese and overweight individuals there is often a lack of sufficient ghrelin to reach the brain. So we can keep eating, keep overeating, and we are actually never recorded, our brain never records the information that the stomach is full. So again, there is a disruption between body and brain to what we actually need, and our levels of how fed we are and how much storage of energy we have. I made a longer video again about ghrelin. You can go and have a look if you want to find out more about ghrelin. So as you can see, there's a massive common theme where there's a massive disruption between our bodies and our brains, and we need to address this malfunction, like it's a mechanical malfunction, like we are dealing with electrical cables. Like we need to address the root cause. There's no point like throwing stuff at it and hoping it's going to fix it. So we need to fix the root cause of these disruptions. How do we do that? The best way is always to reduce carbohydrates and get our body in a more metabolically flexible state, which I made a video about metabolic flexibility. Again, I really recommend to watch the longer video, the longer explanation, so you can actually understand what metabolic flexibility is. We can turn our body from a carb burner to a fat burner, and so we re-establish all these lost brain connections. That I made so many videos. I made a video about the benefits of the carnivore diet. I really recommend you go and have a look. It's really good, just to explain you why you could maybe use carnivore diet to fix all these problems, but also keto diet is really good for this, so any low carb diets. So yeah, go and have a look, read about it, because it could be very effective, and in the space of a very short period of time you can get all these signals back, and you see that you'll be less hungry all the time, less sluggish, you have more energy. But yeah, I promised you 5 easy to follow tips you can apply these tips straight away. They're easy to follow to gain back your metabolic health. The first and best advice is to prioritize protein. Protein is so important for our bodies. Often I see with everyone who joins in, both fitness coaches and Stay Fitness, both my one-to-one personal trainings, that no one eats enough protein. We need at least 1 gram of protein per pound of weight, or for desired pound of weight. So you should get at least at minimum 30 grams of protein or more each meal. And if you think about it, 1 scoop of whey protein is already 25 grams. So it's just a matter of prioritizing it. So when you think about food, first thing you need to think protein, and complete animal protein. If someone tells me they chickpeas for protein, I just can't. Like, I talked about these things, like why vegan proteins are not considered complete protein, so you can go have a look also those videos if you want. So yeah, the first tip is to prioritize animal protein. Next tip is to try and only eat 2 to 3 times a day. We need our bodies to be in a fasted state at least a portion of the time of the day, so it can self-regulate. Of course, zero food means zero insulin, zero everything, so this is the time for our body to try and reboot a little bit. So yeah, it's not about starving yourself, doing like 50-hour fast or anything like that. It's just a matter of like, when you're eating, you eat enough to take you to the next meal, and you try to finish eating as early as possible in the evening, and then you fast at night, and it's so easy, effortless, and you just try to maybe like postpone your breakfast as late as you can. When you're hungry, you eat then. So the next advice is to, if you're going to eat carbs, eat them at the last meal of the day, and eat only 1 palm size of preferably root vegetables, so like vegetables from carbohydrates from like natural sources like fruit, as I say, root vegetables, and avoid all refined grains, pasta, pizza, and all those. Yeah, sorry guys, it was sunny and now there's suddenly like a storm of like hail, so I just had to stop for a moment. Look outside. But yeah, what I was saying about yeah, if you're going to eat carbs, eat them at last meal of the day, so you have time during the night to lower the insulin, and also try and limit to 1 palm size. I give my clients 3 strikes a week for carbs, so they can have carbs like 3 palm size a week, and as I said, like sweet potato, normal potato, other root vegetables, or a bit of fruit if they want. Which takes me to my next point, is to to prioritize fat and protein for at least breakfast and lunch, protein for dinner as well. I'm saying having a high protein, moderate fat meal for breakfast and lunch. If you're skipping breakfast, fair enough, you have just a bigger lunch filled with loads of good protein and good saturated fats. This is going to ensure you won't have massive sugar crash, energy crash throughout the day. It's gonna be a nice steady release of energy. It's gonna keep you full for longer, and it's also going to stimulate metabolic flexibility. And the last point is to move more, which I'm not saying move more and eat less, or I'm saying that you should move more so you lose weight, because I made a video about it, about why you shouldn't use exercise for weight loss. Exercise needs to be used for what it does, which is improve hormonal function, which can then lead to weight loss, but you cannot train a bad diet. What I'm saying now is to move more. Doesn't mean exercise. Just be conscious about how much time you sit during the day and try and stand up more. Like, movement is not about having hours and hours of time. It's a state of mind where you take every opportunity to move more. It's like if you have a meeting where you need to just listen, nothing prevents you from standing up, walking up and down your flat or your house, or you can have a stationary bike there in the corner where you can jump on and just do some light cycling. Doesn't mean you have to like sweat, get out of breath. If you're going somewhere, you can check out how long it will take you to walk, or maybe to partially walk. Say I'm gonna walk half an hour and then take the train. But also now it's like so trendy to get everything delivered to your house, to your flat. So I would recommend to like try and limit that and actually go to the shop to buy or get your dry cleaning, so you can incorporate more movement. So yeah, to sum up, if you try and limit your carbs, eat strategically, eat lots of protein, good fats, trying to move more during the day, be less sedentary, that can really improve your hormonal function and your hunger signals, improve insulin sensitivity and all that. So yeah, that's all I have to say for today. I hope you did enjoy this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you find this kind of advice useful. Please let me know in the comments below if you think you have either insulin, leptin sensitivity or problem with your ghrelin. And yeah, you can always sign up for a free consultation with me, and we can talk about through your problems and get a tailored approach to your situation. But yeah, that's all I have to say for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.